Hey dumplings, it's Dave Desai. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very different type of tea for you. I wanted to talk about Ghost9 and working with them and some of my own experience with almost signing to a K-pop label, and I'd love to just get right into it. I am very nervous to make this video because it combines a lot of what I've gone through in the last few years, and I wanted to tell the story to shine some light on the industry and give you some insight before you decide to sign your life away. I'm always scared to share this because I feel like part of why you guys watch me is because you feel like I'm not related to the industry, but if I didn't have this experience, I wouldn't be able to give some of the insight that I talk about in these videos on this channel. But also, maybe you don't care at all, and it's not as big of a deal as I am putting it in my head. This video will not be an attack against any group or any label. This is not what this is about, but just telling what goes on in the back end and how things sometimes operate. I need to give context, so bear with me. I never share or make too many videos talking about myself, which of course puts me up for some criticism all the time because people don't believe I know what I'm talking about. So you might be wondering what my credentials are. I've been working in this industry for 11 years, and I've worked behind the scenes as a cameraman and editor for many of those years. I have also worked in journalism for many years with some of the most amazing networks and TV stations. I've been featured in one TV show as of now. I don't know if it was actually aired on TV though, but it's MTV's One Style Fits All for TRL, which ended up being picked up by Snapchat Originals. And this opportunity came after doing about 2 gigs prior with MTV before the show. My film teacher was an Oscar-nominated director, and I was so lucky to be able to be taught by her and learn some of her tricks. I've also edited videos for several YouTubers and of course myself, and I help run social media marketing campaigns for several companies. It wasn't until about 2018 or so did I really try to put all that experience together to create this K-pop channel. Anyway, when my channel started to pick up during the beginning of the pandemic, around the time I went full-time with this, I got an opportunity to be signed to a big K-pop label. Not as a singer though, I'll explain. The label specifically used one big K-pop idol's name. She is a big one and she is a solo artist, and if I said her name, you would know who it was, but if I say her name, it's one jump from the label, so I'm going to not say her name. They pushed this idea that there could be a possibility that if I signed with the label, I could interview and talk about this K-pop idol. The K-pop idol was signed to the label as a singer. They wanted to sign me as one of their influencers as they were looking to branch out into having an influencer sector, which made me feel iffy already because they have only like 3 or 4 influencers and they didn't do anything with them. It appeared to me that they were just using these influencers' names to hopefully get bigger ones. So when they reach out to someone like Emma Chamberlain or whatever, they could be like, look, we have 30 influencers under us already. Meanwhile, literally doing nothing with them. What I was hoping to do with this label was to get more opportunities like interviews with K-pop idols and hopefully more opportunities to collab with them. This K-pop idol that is signed is also friends with BTS, and the manager that I was speaking with said that they on many occasions have met BTS. So I don't know if that was true, but it was made to make it appear like signing would open all these doors. I don't know what the contract was for the K-pop idol, but the contract for me was so bad. Basically, I took it to my lawyer, and what they said was the contract was asking for 25% of everything that I make. They said that they could offer me a deal where they would only take 25% of what I make after deducting my living costs. So if it cost me $2,000 a month to live, they would only take 25% of whatever I made after $2,000, which is fine, I guess, but that was never in the contract. But they gave me 2 types of options. One is to sign a forever contract and one for only 3 years, which makes no sense to me because if I've never worked with them, you want me right off the bat to sign forever? I'll get into this more in a bit. Also, if the contract had said they were actually going to be doing these things that I need them to do, which is why I'm giving them 25%, then I would have signed, but it didn't specify anything. It just said what I was going to have to owe them. There was no clause in there about any service they offer, and when I had asked my lawyer, they said that this was the weirdest contract they had ever seen, and this was someone who had worked in the American entertainment industry for a while, so I trusted them. And according to some of the other influencers in the label that I had spoken with, they to this day have not gotten any promotion or anything like that. This wasn't the worst part of this contract. If I had chosen to sign the 3-year contract, meaning after 3 years I decide, okay, I'm done with this, I'm going to work at McDonald's. The contract states that I would owe the company 25% of what I make at McDonald's for the rest of my life, and they have access to my accounting papers for them to manage for the rest of my life. Keep in mind, this is not the forever contract. Either contract, I was giving them my life. Needless to say, no matter what the opportunity looked like or what it could have been, I did not sign with them. I assumed that the K-pop idol that did just got a much better deal, and who knows, maybe maybe I would have gotten some amazing opportunities, but I couldn't take that risk. I send money home to my parents, I have living costs, and New York is not cheap. I can't afford to do that. But why did I say all this? I wanted to give context on how bad a label can be and why you can see some artists choose to be independent. It's a luxury to say that the artist doesn't have to worry about money and can just make art, but most artists can't. And sometimes the deal is so bad, so when you see an artist or a K-pop artist that is successful and is doing well, aside from training and all the hard work that you expect from them, also understand what they might have had to give up. It's not just an amazing thing that someone becomes successful and makes music full time. This is like a miracle and all the stars aligned for them after they shed blood, sweat, and tears. I am not saying that Ghost9 had some of those hardships with their label. I don't know if they did or not, but I do know that groups like them are heavily managed and they run a tight ship. Their image needs to be very carefully curated because they're new and some of the things that we don't even really think about. My closest friend is named Xiaoma NYC, as he goes by here on YouTube. He got this opportunity, not me, to collab with Ghost9, and you can find the video on his channel. He invited me to be the extra cameraman and film, as I filmed and edited videos for him before. And he also wanted to give me the experience to meet them. We go over a lot of ideas and brainstorm for videos on his channel to figure out what is going to be the most viral idea. We literally bounce ideas off of each other for hours sometimes. Some of the ideas we have come up with in the past have gotten like 40 million views on his channel. So first off, brainstorming is very important. Find someone to do it with. But it's important to know that the reason I know what I am about to say is because we bounce ideas off of each other. But Xiaoma got this email from the Ghost9 PR team asking for a collab and asking if he would be down to do it. Only it was literally the next day, so we didn't have enough time to figure out what the concept of the collab would be. We came up with the idea like I train to be a K-pop group or I become a K-pop idol for a day. Nothing no one else hadn't done before, but it works, so why not try it? But the idea of him auditioning to become an honorary member of Ghost9 was not an idea the Ghost9 team wanted. They said the audience can be sensitive to adding another member. I totally understand that. And then Xiaoma had the idea of doing the dance and singing and dressing up as the K-pop idol with hair and makeup and seeing if he can get a rating from Ghost9 to see if Xiaoma would fit into the world of K-pop. There were concerns like, is this cultural appropriation because Xiaoma is white or whatnot, but we figured it probably wasn't and it was going to be okay. The issue with this idea is that Ghost9 didn't have much time, so they would be able to train Xiaoma for 2 hours for singing and dancing, but then they wouldn't be able to follow him to the hair salon or anything like that. So then Xiaoma had this idea of a video call. So after he was in full K-pop uniform, he would just FaceTime Ghost9 and ask for a rating of how he looked and if he could pull it off. The issue with this was that Ghost9 needed to get their location approved of where they were FaceTiming. So when on the FaceTime, the background needed to be approved by higher up before filming it. They don't want the footage to even exist if that background is questionable. And this is understandable. How often does it happen where someone's underwear is in the background of a celebrity selfie and you're like, what is that? And oftentimes it's not even underwear or anything. So the team wanted to limit the possibility of Ghost9 facing this type of scandal. This is no hate to the team. I think it's very necessary for a new group to be this cautious, but something to keep in mind if meeting an idol or whatever, always ask for permission when taking a photo. And if they say no, don't think of it as anything bad. It could literally be because they don't have approval. The boys, upon reckoning day, the day of filming, they were so nice and you can literally feel the energy as they walked in. And I was trying hard to coach Xiaoma, don't say this, don't mention BTS, don't mention any other group, as I was super nervous, but it all ended up being great. And when I tell you how impressive and how kind they all were, like they were all so well trained in everything, dancing, singing, and even like manners and even their social skills and how they were able to mirror body language to make others feel more comfortable and their jokes. It was beautiful. They even stuck around for like a few minutes after the shoot and asked questions and recommendations on pizza places in New York, and even those who couldn't speak English stuck around and tried to communicate with us, which they did not have to do like at all. The boys are so stunning in real life. They almost look so different on camera than they do on person. Like on camera they look like a K-pop star. In person they look like gods. They are literally glowing. I just wanted to add that. Let me know what you think, and if you want to see more K-pop reaction videos, go to my Patreon, link below. I can't post them here due to copyright, but you can get all sorts of reaction videos and requests over there. It's a great way to support the channel even more if you would like to do that. Thank you so much for this lovely comment right here. I love you so much. There'll be some videos that will pop up on screen, and I will see you over there. Bye.